Hello, it is Tuesday again, and we're in December, believe it or not. My God, I'm just checking everything. It's looking okay. Uh, my Zoom there. All right. Okay. Welcome to Tuesday Chat, Tuesday Art Chat. If you haven't watched this before, I do this every single Tuesday. I am having a break over, am I? I'm not sure yet. No, maybe not. We'll see how we go around Christmas, whether I usually let you know in advance if I can't do one of the Tuesday chats. But in general, I do them every single Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time, which I'm in Queensland, Australia. So it's my time 9. So if you're in daylight savings, of course, it's going to be a bit different. But if you like to talk about art, definitely join me every Tuesday. You can watch the replays over on my blog or my YouTube channel. If you're in one of my Facebook groups, you can usually go under guides and look at some of the past Tuesday chats. I'm always open to suggestions as well. So if there's something you want me to chat about, if something of interest to you, just message me, let me know, and I'll incorporate it in a Tuesday chat. Okay, so I try and keep them, they're always art related. And I try and do ones that might be inspirational to you guys as well. So I'm not really doing how to draw like techniques. Every now and again I do, but the general Tuesday chats are just all to do with things that are related that I've come across. And also, like I said, I try and do chats about keeping you motivated and inspired as an artist. And they're suited for absolute beginners right through to more advanced artists. Okay, but like I said, if you have any ideas, let me know. I've got a whole year ahead to start planning. So, all right, we've got Rhonda and Bev on. Is awesome. Thanks, guys. I'm guessing you can hear me okay. Oh, Farley's on and Jeanette, awesome. Teresa as well. Great. It's good to see everyone starting to get on and say hello, and definitely add some comments in the chat as we're going. So 2 weeks, not two, yeah, 2 weeks ago, I went through and explained why I felt graphite was the ideal medium for beginners. But we also touched on that graphite can be used as a total medium, full stop. You don't even need to progress to color or oils or watercolor or pastel or whatever else. If you love graphite, it can be a full medium in itself. You can win many awards and all the rest of it. And it's just a lovely medium to work in, just to sketch, and you can sit at the TV and do drawing. It's so versatile, so simple. The actual drawing side of it is not simple. It's learning just like any other medium, but the tools are simple. So this week, I got sidetracked last week sharing my ultimate planner for artists. But this week I wanted to continue on with the graphite and share some of my favorite graphite artists. Okay, I did do a chat on this in I think in January this year, in the last in one of the coaching weeks, we touched on graphite in that. We did a graphite cat's eye. So I chatted about these artists there as well. So some of you who were doing that with me have probably seen some of these, but they're just amazing. And, it's just fun to share and share other artists and be inspired by other artists. That's where I get a lot of my inspiration and ideas from, is just seeing, like we've talked about before, filling our creative bank, which is in our head, from little bits and pieces from all over the place. So you can gather ideas from other artists for sure. All right. Viv's on, Julie, Elaine as well, Di. Awesome. Oh, Odette is on too. Great. a lot of regulars, which is wonderful. So thanks for joining me, everyone. I actually thank you to Farley for mentioning that he doesn't get a reminder for Tuesday chat. And yeah, I'm a bit slack with that. If you click that you're attending on the Facebook event, of course, Facebook will give you a reminder. But I always forget to send that event out. So that's something I'm going to try hard to do better at. That'll be one of my goals maybe for next year. So yeah, thanks, Farley, because I sent out some reminders this morning after Farley mentioned it. So all right. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Oh no, I doubt you're sick. That's no good. Andrea's on as well. I always call you Andrea. It's Andrea. Okay. Everyone who knows me knows I can't pronounce very well, so you have to bear with me or just have a laugh at me. Either. Yes, Vivian, it is a lot to keep on top of. Sending out reminders. It's all that backdoor stuff or the back end part of trying to run an online business. Yes, things get forgotten. And yeah, but that's all right. Okay. All right. We'll kick it off with probably my favorite artist. Yeah. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So I found this, her name's Adonna Khare, and I found her quite a number of years ago, but she uses a graphite and carbon pencil. And I love her work. It is just stunning. It's very whimsical, I suppose. I'm hoping this pops up. It's she's a magnificent artist in it all comes out of her head. As most artists do, but she, there's no boundary. She turns everything into animals. And I'm hoping you can see the close-up versions of this that I've clicked on. Let's go. So she sort of uses animals to describe what she's thinking. So let's go here. This is where she first became very famous or quite well known. She won in 2012. She was the first place winner with some work she called it Elephants. She won $200,000. It was one of the biggest art prizes in the US, I think. But I just love, she said the whole piece was it was her life story, but she's turned everything to animals. So there apparently, I can't see it here, there's in the piece there's an orangutan in a hospital bed, and that is depicts her nephew who was very sick with leukemia. Just yeah, the way she thinks about, again, we're talking storytelling here. These are masters of their art, and usually there's a story in it, and Adonna does a wonderful job of creating story through her art. But I just love that she turns it all to animals. So with this piece, I don't know that there's a full piece here. Here we go. Hopefully you can see this. I'll duck back and make sure. Let me just go over on my phone to Facebook and just make sure that that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Hold on. Let me go to there and there. Oh, oh yeah, you are cool. Okay, so when she first entered it, if you can see this picture of it on the wall, it's I think she said it was a triptych. It was 3 pieces all drawn already and put it on the wall. And she decided that it just didn't look finished to her. So she asked them at the gallery if she could continue drawing on their wall. So extend the painting, the drawing onto their wall. So you can sort of see it up here above where the tree extends. Let's see if we can go back a bit. I think I saw it. There you can see the tree is extended, and along the bottom as well, she's extended it down. So you can see here, there's a good one where the tree has come up higher. And it just turned it into just the most amazing masterpiece. And I think that's, I'm going to make you dizzy here. We're going down. Here you go. To a picture of her sitting on the ground drawing while, so once to show, I think the exhibition was open for 3 weeks maybe. And during that 3 weeks, so if you went the first day, you would have just seen her drawing paper on the wall, like with the art on it. But over the course of the exhibition, she extended it and kept adding to it. So for 3 weeks, she was there adding to it and just got to chat to all the public, all the kids. She says it was such an amazing experience. But I do feel that by her extending the art out onto the wall is what I mean, already it was a magnificent piece, but to extend it and look at the size of it. I mean, seriously, it's quite amazing. So yeah, I think this is where she really got known in the public by winning this piece. But like I said, her work is just stunning. Let me just flick over. This one shows it a bit better. So this is all still part of that piece, and she still works exactly the same. So this is what, 12 years on, and if you go to her Instagram page, it's still the same stuff. Like she does animals, but she tells the story of, say, her human life through the animals. So yeah, just really cool, and just her ideas, like having this one, this sort of mobile hanging off with all birds on it. There's a coffee pot there, which obviously to her there's a meaning behind that. And there's no I also love that she's not restricted by size, like, okay, this elephant, she's got huge, and this dog sleeping on its leg is tiny, but in some other parts she'll have an elephant really really small. So she's not restricted in any way. And like, here's she's bringing some human element in here by doing the feet of the chimpanzee as human feet and legs, same with the hands. So you can see there is that human element to it, which is where that whole story comes from. And look, we've even got a koala in there where Australia's represented. But even, the bit of chain on the elephant foot, yeah, you could just spend hours and hours and hours looking at this piece, and you just have to wonder what was going through her head, I suppose, what it all means. But she said it's all representative of her life. So, like this kind of a dinosaur duck. And then I love the hippo, the tiny hippo here, sitting underneath. So that's what I mean, like size is no no barrier. But this is all just in this one piece. All of this stuff is quite amazing, isn't it? We'll just flip back to her Instagram. So you can see this is current, and same deal. She's still adding things, and it's all just straight out of her head. Yeah, just amazing stuff. So she's one of my all-time favorite artists, and it is because I think it's just her ideas. They're just so cool, and you could sit and stare at her work forever and just keep seeing new things. So yeah, absolutely love her stuff. Hold on, let me have a look. All right, I'm just checking comments. Are you able to share the link to that website? Yep. Of extinction and conservation. Yeah, very much. Hold on, just let me copy. I'll just have to stop sharing for a sec. Very much Shirley, but the thing is, this is Adonna. She would, I'm guessing she probably has, if you look into her work more, there would be stuff about extinction and the animals and conservation and that. But that piece in particular was more human related. It was, she said, it's like her life. So she just turned everyone into animals. So there's a lot, like, if, yeah, definitely you'll probably find videos, chat of her talking about it. We do have, if you're in the membership, I did do a Meet the Masters, I think, on Adonna. I think I did. So you'll probably be able to see some stuff in there. But yeah, just love her ideas. So and like I said, you'll see with these first two that I'm sharing, these are my probably favorite two. And then I've got a couple of others to share, but they both are master storytellers. So and that's what sells. We all know that, but it doesn't, once again, you don't need to have to sell your work. It's not about that. It's about you loving what you're doing and enjoying the drawing process. Okay. But if you did want to sell your work, story is always what sells. So all right. This is another one you probably may have seen him. Again, I just love his work. He's I don't know what his real name is, but he goes as Pez. And you might, this lot here are his most famous works. And this is where I definitely stumbled across him with some of this work being shared on social media. Hold on, I'm just double checking that it has gone to this. Let me see. Is there oh yeah, if I click on it. Yeah, cool. I think like these it's called Destroy, but they're all, he's taken very well-known comic characters, I suppose, and added his distinct touch. This is probably the first one I think I saw of Homer Simpson. But you'll see he loves doing this. It's like a string effect, I think. And he uses it in a lot of his work. And this is all done with graphite pencils. And as you can see, it's in his sketchbook. But you'll see his work's so distinct. Okay, you can definitely tell if you see one of his works, because 9 times out of 10 they do have this string effect in it. But yeah, again, the story, just using his mind to come up with these ideas. The Snoopy doghouse turned into an apartment building. It's pretty cool. Rusty, just all out of his head as usual. With some of these artists, they're just very clever. But I also wanted to show you a couple other things here. So this is more getting into the storytelling. This one's called Greenpeace. So this is a bit more of the conservation message, I suppose, coming through. And some of his work isn't just graphite. He does add color occasionally. This is cool. The earth's cracked, but it's if you look down here, they're all apartment buildings. And then, the trees turning into phone towers, I suppose they are, or satellite tower. I'm not sure what they are, but something man-made, of course. Again, his distinct style again with this straw. Is it straw maybe? I think it could be straw, not string. I'm not sure. But as you can see, you can tell his work. It's quite amazing. And in these ones, like I said, this whole series, he's telling a story. Just beautiful. Like you could go on forever and look at these, honestly. Um, and then I wanted to share how he's combined um like the black and white in with color. Okay, which is very effective as well. Hold on, there's another one. Okay, but yeah, so this series as well, you may have seen. So a lot of his stuff goes pretty viral on the internet, like your TikToks and your Instagram and all of that sort of stuff. Okay. But yeah, combining color with the black and white is really effective as well, like this. So and then I just wanted to share as well with Pez. Let me just I'll put it in after. I'll put his website in when I stop sharing. But I did. This is for you and all my other students that have that saw this. But hold on. First of all, we'll look at, is it Papa Smurf? That's pretty cool. But one of my students shared with me, well, with us. Hold on, let me try and get closer. She had some artwork that was framed and it was straight out of the artist's sketchbook, and they look so cool. And this is Pez's latest exhibition. I don't think I can get any closer than that, but you can see his drawings are out of his sketchbook and just ripped straight out. And we were talking about having that ripped binding like from your spiral bound sketchbook down the side, so you can see it's straight out of his sketchbook. That can't be well, I suppose if you're very clever you could get it printed and make it look like that, but seriously, if you're buying something straight like that, you could be pretty guaranteed it is an original straight out of his sketchbook. So I just thought that was really, really cool because we were just talking about that. And normally when you're framing something, you would think you needed to cut that perforated part off, but I think it adds to it. And like I said, Odette shared her ones and they look beautiful. Actually, look at this. This is cool too. They've created this one. Obviously, I'm not sure. I can't get any closer. Hold on, maybe I can. There we go. Hopefully that's better. I should have thought about that first, but look at that. It's probably, this one probably is a print, but they've used a board and cut it out so it looks like the perforated edge of the notebook, and then they've probably printed it. That's cool as well. So another thing, Pez is very well known for his sketches and how beautiful they are. And so, yeah, I think to me, if I was to, not that I would be able to afford a piece, but if I was to ever buy a piece, because he is so well known for these notebooks, this is how I think I would want it too. ripped straight out and framed. It's quite amazing. Let's have a look over here. Oh, let's just swing back and look at Papa Smurf. Oh, that one too, see? Done on a board. So again, that's probably printed. Done on a board to make it look like that. This is pretty amazing. Bugs Bunny. Okay, so yeah, all graphite. And yeah, so you could go into this gallery. Let me just stop sharing. Oh, hold on. Oh. Let me, I don't know how to get out of there. All right, let me go back over here. But yeah, I'll put this link in as well. This is his website. So this is Pez. And don't you love the name? You know, we all know that's a candy dispenser. But it's very easily recognized and very it's simple, short. And if you've seen his work, it's quite easy to remember. But check out that website and have a look through the gallery. It actually goes upstairs and everything. But I just really loved that torn out of the book, and it just resonated with me when I was looking at it, because me and Odette and a few of the other ladies were talking about it the other day. So, and definitely, it is a clever way to exhibit the sketches, especially, like I said, he's so well known for sketching. And especially, I mean, the ones Odette shared with us, of course, they were the artist's pre-thoughts and composition sketches and that of what he was going to do, whereas Pez finishes his art as full sketches, and then maybe from those he might then decide to do some on a larger scale, maybe. But because they are like finished pieces of art, they're quite amazing. We're described as illustrators. They're telling a story with their work. Yeah, definitely. I think quite a few of these people would put themselves as an illustrator in their bio. But even as we know, all art, the more of a story you can tell in it, the better. But these are, I agree, Shirley, they're like next level. They're telling big stories. So yeah, probably would be classed as artist illustrator. But it's just something to think about. You don't have to go to that level, of course. But it's always something to think about when you are creating your own work. Just stop and ask yourself why. Even if you're using a reference image off the internet, ideally you're taking your own reference images and then you can write down your why. But even if it's off the internet, why did you choose that picture? Why a tiger? Like, why? There's always a why to it. Which is why I put in the ultimate planner, which I know quite a few of you probably got, where you can write down what, like your artwork. I've made sure I've put a section for story. So when you're thinking about what you're creating, whether you're out taking your own reference images or whether you're using something off the internet, why did you choose that? Like, what are your feelings at the time, and your thoughts behind it? Just a little, keep a note of the why, because then if you do exhibit it or want to sell it, then you can put a little artist statement of the why. And that's how most abstract artists work, because an abstract and I'm talking very abstract, where it's like just some paint thrown at a canvas. Without a story, there's nothing, is it? It means nothing. And it's usually the story, especially in abstract art, that sells the piece, because people have to resonate with it to buy it. For wildlife art, usually, like for me with my dingoes, I don't need a lot of different elements in it because people love dingoes that much. Sometimes I'll add a reflection in the eye to change it, to tell a bit of a story, but usually I paint them because I love them. And I just love painting them as well. And I think they're a bit hard done by over on Fraser Island, and there's a lot of story behind that. But yeah, I think you can just, the story can just change as you go, but keeping those notes really helps. Yeah, Jane, would that be a problem using Disney characters? I wouldn't do it. I would think so. But he could have right, like he could have gotten permissions maybe. I know Disney is very strict with it all, but he's a very well-known artist and that's sort of what he does. So um I'm guessing he maybe has worked out a deal with not just Disney, I suppose, because you've got all the Simpsons stuff. He does a lot of the Simpsons, so he probably has it's good advertising for them, even though they don't need it. But I'd say he's worked out a deal with some of those. Yeah, maybe depends, but you'd have to. You can get in a lot of trouble if you try and draw anything related to Disney or certain characters and then sell your work. You can't even really show your work unless you have like approvals from them. I did a painting of Ed Sheeran, and I did it as a pop art style. So I got the photo, he was sort of singing in these lights, and I changed it all to a really pop art, like that Andy Warhol type of work. And it wasn't for sale because I did it for myself. This is a long time ago. Huge Ed Sheeran fan. And I had it on I think I had it on my Facebook page, or I had it somewhere. Or maybe I did put I might have put it in a Society 6 shop. I put it somewhere on the internet anyway, and I was contacted by his law team. They were very nice. They just explained that you can't make artwork of someone famous like that, and just sort of try and make money out of it, I suppose is how they work it. So they just asked me to take it down, which I did. So it was great. They were fine. They didn't like threaten me. Like they probably would have if I hadn't taken it down. But yeah, they just sort of said, you can't do that. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind. So that's a really good point as well, Jane. Okay, Shirley, it's a good step up from working with photos to make it your own. Your own experience will create your own story. Yeah, exactly. Everyone would have a different story with their images, of course. So yeah, but it's just I think it's a good idea to jot things down as well. Oh, okay, Shirley. Mickey Mouse might have come out of copyright this year because isn't it 100 years? They're copyrighted for. I don't know. It's a bit strange, but how it all works. Oh, here we go. Elaine, perfect person to answer. Warner Brothers paralegal. Unless you have a license or the character is in public domain, you should refrain. There you go. Exactly. So yeah, I think, is it after 100 years? Elaine, you might know that one. Things go into the public domain, which that's why, like with the Aesop, I've got the book back here, the Aesop Fable Challenge. That's why I use the fables to pull sentences from for our challenge in my public Facebook group, because it is public domain now because of the age of it. So all right, so let's just go. I've got a couple more here to show you. They're not quite as they're still amazing artists, but not quite the storytelling, I suppose, but I'm talking with these guys. This is more the technique, like the master graphite artists. So this is Kath Riley. her website doesn't really show a lot, and doesn't, a lot of them I'm finding, especially these next three, it's hard to, their biographies and that don't really tell you much. There's not a lot of story about, like, it's hard to get to know the artist. If you are creating a website, definitely tell your story. People want to know about the artist. So there's no photos of her, like this one of Kath. There's no photos. There's no backstory. I have no idea where she's from. Like there's nothing. A lot of them just list what awards they've won. Which to me is, yeah, it's not as fun, is it? When you're looking, you want to know about the people, not just the work. People. Okay, if your art's amazing, it'll probably sell anyway. But I think nowadays people want to get to know the person, the artist behind it. So keep that in mind. So even with social media, make sure. I know it's daunting sometimes to put your face out there, but people want to know you. So but yes, anyway, look at these hands and the shoe. So a lot of artists work in series. They get focused on one thing, and they will keep working it until they just become masters of it, and they'll then get bored with it and move on to something else. So I feel hands are quite important to her, but obviously this shoe as well. And then what was it? This flesh one was again hands, but have a go. This is graphite. Have a go at the blend here. The subtle, like to get skin and have it just that subtle blend. And it looks, I mean, we're talking a flat piece of paper here. And look at how 3D these look. They are absolutely amazing. I can't get them any bigger, but just it looks like the skin is indented, and to get such a smooth blend is quite remarkable. So yeah, definitely a master graphite artist here. And the veins in the hands, yeah, just stunning. Okay, who else have we got? So that's Kath Riley. I'll share her just let me stop sharing. That I'll go back to here. Kath Riley. I'll put her site there as well. But like I said, it's not a lot to look at. Yeah, hyper realistic, definitely Farley. Yeah. Okay, Di, you have could that be somehow related to AI, maybe capturing their images and deep faking? I think even with AI, like those artists, of course, aren't AI images, but I think even with AI images, I would steer clear. If you type in AI stuff to get some reference images or some ideas, if it brought, I don't think it would bring anything Disney or related or anything up, but if it did, I'd steer clear of it still anyway. Oh, Facebook just sent me a thing saying they have deleted. They've just deleted Kath Riley's website. Oh, not they didn't delete her website, but they deleted that I shared it with you, and it's because I think it said I could go and see why, but I'm not bothering. But I think it's probably because it had flesh written in it, and they thought it was probably some sexual thing. So I've resent her link just of a homepage rather than Facebook's funny, isn't it? Anyway, all right, let's go back. I've just got two more, and then we are done. Hold on. Some of my members might have seen me share this guy as well before. and his name is Dirk. Dirk Dzimirsky, I think is how it is. Um, Dirk, oh, yeah, Dzimirsky, I think is how you say it. I know it's Dirk anyway. But yeah, he again, hyper realism. I think um like you said, Farley, I think if you're working just in graphite pencils, and some of these guys are using like your retractable little 0.5 millimeter pencil, I think to have amazing work that just, you know, blows your socks is hyper realistic. But it may not all be. I mean, of course, this is what I'm drawn to. This is what I like. So I suppose Adonna's isn't hyper realistic, and neither is Pez. But yeah, these next three that I'm sharing definitely are. And yeah, and to think it's done out of graphite is pretty cool as well. But yeah, I saw a thing. Dirk does drawing courses as well. So I saw he had one for sale. They're quite big. He works really large, but I feel the average time is around 30 hours or more he'll spend on a piece. This one I would imagine of the I think it's an older lady. Um, I would imagine with all those wrinkles and that, it would be even longer. It's, you know, not unusual for a hyperrealist to spend 100 hours on a painting. And especially Dirk's work is usually pretty large from what I can gather. Okay, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty stunning, isn't it? It's quite amazing. I can't zoom up on the skin, but if you check out his site, you'll see the skin is just mind-blowing. There's one of a couple of little girls that I absolutely love as well. And it's such a simple. A lot of his are these graphite. I think these are graphite. He does a lot of charcoal. Yeah, these little girls I think are gorgeous. Um, he does charcoal as well, and once again, just getting the smoothness of the skin or the wrinkles in the skin and all of that. You know, this is where you've put the hours in if you're getting to this sort of level, but it's something to be inspired by. I always look at their work as inspiration um for me. So they're just, yeah, absolutely beautiful. Okay. So that is Dirk. Let's Dirk, Dirk. I'll just go to yeah. Look at the size of that. There you go. That's his hand. That's all in charcoal. Like, wow, amazing. Let's let's stop sharing and I'll throw that one in there as well. Paste. All right, so they're mixing graphite, carbon, and charcoal to get that effect. Yeah, it could be Farley. I know those ones of Dirk there. um I clicked on just his graphite drawings, but he does do a lot of charcoal as well. And most um graphite artists sometimes use carbon pencils as well to get those darks. Um Usually they're a combination, but some aren't. I mean, those ones by Pez, his sketchbook work, they're just graphite. Adonna I know uses carbon a lot as well. So you know, again, your graphite is perfect for those lovely shades of grey, the really lighter shades, whereas your carbon and charcoal, it can be a bit harder to get those really light shades. So yeah, quite often there'll be a combination. All right, and I just have one more to share because he does cats and like animals. Let's share this. So this is Paul Lung. He doesn't really, again, another artist that doesn't have a lot of backstory. I couldn't really even find a website for him. He has a Deviant Art page. But again, yeah, graphite, and look at that. So realistic and just absolutely beautiful. And I think also what makes it is his use of you know, the sharp edges and then the blurry edges, which really gives it some depth. There was another one over here of these pandas that, look at that background and the foreground, like that would take forever as well. Like just the detail in all of that is quite astounding. But yeah, again, they love the detail. That's what these guys do. That's what they love their hyper realism, and they're happy. And I know, I mean, I'm quite happy. I was enjoying when we were doing the shells the other week inside the Creative Barn membership. They were really quite detailed. Some people love just doing fur or hair, and they just get lost in the process. And I feel like for these hyper realists, like especially say doing this foreground grasses or the background trees here, you would just get lost in those details. And if you're not in a hurry, you know, if you're just doing it for yourself, there's no rush, then you can take 100 hours if you want, you know. But in saying that, not all of us have that patience. I know I'd like to work on a large graphite piece. I have one in mind that I want to just pin on the wall, and it's something I can go to whenever and just spend however many hours, it wouldn't matter. But a lot of the stuff I do, like my regular work is for tutorials and doing live lessons. So I'm always mindful of the time, because I know not everyone wants to spend, or I know not everyone has the time to spend that long on a painting. Okay, so again, but just like, see, this is very effective down here of this cat, what it's laying on. So, you know, that white out section, which is great. That was easy to probably do. But then as it comes into the shadow, you can then see all of the detail of that, the texture of the fabric or whatever he's laying on. So that alone would have taken a very long time, I imagine. I bet he loved it when he got to the white. And look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous as well. So again, yeah, just the ultra fine details, the really subtle value changes, which we all know value plays a huge role in realism. And the better you can get at those value changes, the more realistic your art's going to become. And it's just these little subtle changes. So just like between the nose here, between the eyes, sorry, where, you know, on a dog's head, it indents there. At first glance, you think it's all just white through here, but it's that touch darker than what it is up the top. And it just sort of helps to make it sort of look like it's receding more than the top here. And it's just, yeah, slowly getting better and better at that is what will help you with your realism. Okay, so let me I'll share this one as well. But again, like I said, it's just a DeviantArt site on Paul Lung. So not a lot to look at, unfortunately. But you know, if any of them interest you, go and have a look. So, oh yeah, Alexandra. You love the graphite and the detail, yeah. Farley doesn't have the patience. Well, that's fine too. A lot of people don't. I don't know. I don't know if I would have that patience, but I like to think I would. I'd like to, like I said, I'd like to have a piece that I could just go whenever I had a spare half an hour or an hour, I could just go and do a little bit more of it. And not have a deadline to have it finished. So yeah, I think that would be nice just to have as a side project, an ongoing one. It depends how you are as an artist. Some of you love to get started on new projects, some love the middle, and some love to see the end. The ones that love the start of a project usually have about 10 unfinished paintings sitting around. The ones that love to finish a painting usually won't start another one until they've finished that one. So it depends how you work. I have some unfinished ones. I'm looking at a dingo on the wall there that's been sitting there for about 2 months. But because I have to work, I think if it was just up to me, I'd have a lot of unfinished work. But thankfully, because I'm doing tutorials and I have deadlines every month, I get things finished. So that helps. So I'm one of those that I love the finish. I love to be able to sign my name. I love seeing them framed. It's like my favorite part. But I'm also okay with having some unfinished. But I know it's sort of this little niggly thing in the back of your head, isn't it? Going, get that finished. And it is such a great feeling when you finally do. All right. Yeah, Elaine, exactly. It makes me want to do more graphite as well. So that's why I thought if you missed the chat I did 2 weeks ago, you can go to my YouTube or onto my website to the blog. Or it'll be linked in the featured section if you're in any of my groups. And that one I talked about why graphite is a great medium, and we talked about some of the materials and things that you can use for it, especially for beginners. But this one I thought I would inspire you with where you can go with your graphite if you put the work into it. So deviant art always sounds weird to me. Yeah, I don't. It is a strange name. It has been around forever. I was shocked that people. I didn't even know people still use deviant art, but obviously they do. But again, if I was you and you wanted to get your work out there, get a website or get just Instagram, Facebook, something like that, so it's easier to see your work for your customers. All right. Finishing works. You have 2 boards. This is Vivian. I have 2 boards to stick my pastel mat onto. So that pushes you to finish works before I start a new one. It means you miss out on the monthly projects. That's fine, especially when painting my own photos. That's a good way. That is a good way to keep you finishing. I only have 2 backing boards, like Vivian said. So before, like to stick your pastel mat to, because we all know pastel mat curls, so it needs to be stuck down. So yeah, you have to finish at least one to have a board to put your new pastel mat on. That's a great idea. Good one. So all right, Kay, I'm glad you love all the help, but that's what Tuesday art chat's all about, trying to chat about things that interest everyone and inspires everyone. I've inspired Elaine to do more graphite. I've inspired myself, I think, to go and do some more graphite. Maybe we haven't done much graphite in the membership lately, so I might make a note and I'll see how I can incorporate. We might do some graphite, maybe in the draw along or something like that. Because yeah, we haven't done it for a while and it is beautiful to do. So, all right, guys, that is it for this week. First of all, I just want to do a reminder though, before I go. I have no idea off the top of my head what I'm talking about next Tuesday chat, but the following one on the 17th of December, just before Christmas, I won't be doing a Tuesday chat on Christmas Eve. I think is I think there should be one on the 24th, so I won't be doing that because I'm heading down to my parents for Christmas. But on the 17th, we're going to be doing a draw along session of this gorgeous little cat, which I found a picture on Pixabay. So I've got the reference image, the line art done up, got the reference image. I've picked the colors. So I'll put it all together and create an event, and I'll put a link to how you can download all the stuff you need for that. So I'll get that done this week so that everyone's got plenty of time to get their supplies ready. And hold on, color chart for the bird. Yes, Farley, it should be in the Farley's talking about our new tutorial for this little bee eater. So if you're in the Creative Barn, this is our latest pastel painting. So that got released today if you're inside the Creative Barn membership at all. And the color chart is in there. It should be, I'll double check, but it should be Farley. So, okay. And then one last thing, which I do have a link in, if you scroll, it should be in the comments anyway. There, probably at the top, there's a link. If you are thinking, of giving yourself a Christmas present or a loved one, if you have a creative mum or you have a creative friend or your dad or whoever, we're not like men and women are welcome inside the Creative Barn. But it's a 6-month voucher. It's a one-off purchase, and you purchase it. It's for the essentials tier. So they have access to over 100 tutorials, and new tutorials go in there every month, from absolute fundamental lessons in just art in general, right through to finished paintings, just like this little bee eater. And it's $90, and that gives them 6 months access to all of those tutorials. And because it's a gift voucher, it's a one-off payment. Normally when you join the Creative Barn, it's a membership, so it's recurring payments. But as a gift, you don't have to then worry that in 6 months' time, another $90 will be coming out. It's so what you do, you just print out the voucher, you gift that to whoever, and then I've got the details on there, and they contact me when they want to get that 6 months kicked off. So they could wait till May next year before they want to start their 6 months. Okay, so the 6 months start when they activate it through me. Okay, so great gift idea if you know anyone creative and are having trouble trying to figure out what to buy them. So, all right. You love the inspiration. I hope one day when I get more skill that I can branch out into creative extensions. Yeah, definitely. All right. I think I've answered everything. So thank you for joining me. Just run back through. Yep. I think I've got everyone. If you're watching the replay of this, post some comments if you want, ask questions. You could even just tag me and I might see it a bit easier. Or if you want more info on anything, like the voucher or any of that stuff, just message me, or yeah, you can get hold of me on about all the time. So all right, thanks again for joining me, everyone, and I'll see you next week for our normal Tuesday chat. Bye.